full stop and landing 13 left if that's available.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, Palm Springs Tower, squawk 6250.
6250.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, Palm Springs altimeters 2985, radar contact about 10 miles west of the Palm Springs VOR. Presently landing runway 31, you're requesting straight in for 13.
If that's available, yes, please.
Remember, correction, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, make straight in runway 13 left and clear to land. Wind is 0905.
Clear to land, runway 3 left, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, thanks.
Palm Springs clearance plus 4658 is type PC12 slam call frequency clearance to Vegas S filed.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs clearance. Good afternoon. Unable to give you S file, and I'll be full route standby. Plus 4658 is cleared to the Las Vegas airport via Flight Cathedral 1 departure procedure to Palm Springs. Victor 370 to 29 Palms. Victor 538. Cresso. Join the Cresso 3 arrival. Maintain 7,000. Expect flight level 2405 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.7, squawk 6316.
Plus 4658 is cleared to Vegas via Cathedral 1, Palm Springs, Victor 37029, Palms, Victor 538, Cresso 3. Initially climb 7,000, expect cruiser FG5, departure 1267, squawk 6316 plus 465.
Plus 4658, read back is correct. Tango D Mike, taxi to the ground via Echo and this frequency.
Taxiing to the ramp via Echo, remaining on this frequency, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike.
Ontario Tower, Cessna 237 Charlie Alpha, approximately 4 miles to the west, inbound to land.
Number 237 Charlie Alpha, roger, inner left, traffic. Left downwind runway 26 left, report base.
Enter left downwind for 26 left and record your base, 237 Charlie Alpha.
Charlie Tower, United 242 on the visual for 20 right, will be turning for a right base shortly.
United 242 Jolly Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land, wind 170.3.
Clear to land, 20 right, United 242.
Palomar Tower, King out of 208 Kilo, ILS 4.
Here 520 Yankee Kilo, Palomar Tower, runway 24, clear to land, wind 210 at 1.
Clear to land,
Number 237 Charlie Alpha, runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land, 7 Charlie Alpha.
Palm Springs ramp plus 4658 east ramp with weather going for taxi.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs ground, runway 31 right, taxi via Echo and Bravo.
Trail right via Echo Bravo 465.
Riverside Tower, good morning, November 2903 Alpha with you on the ILS.
Number 2903 Alpha, Riverside Tower, good afternoon. Runway 9 clear low approach, report miss.
November 2903 Alpha, PX, low approach, runway 9, next report is
Palm Springs Tower plus 4658 ready to go 3 and right at Bravo.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs Tower, runway 31 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 3 and right plus 465.
Palomar Tower, King out of 208 Kilo, located at 4.
Here's our Yankee Kilo, roger, taxi into the ramp via Alpha.
Via Alpha to
Plus 4658, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure 465.
Cessna 7 Charlie Alpha is clearly active, taxi to the GA parking base.
We're 7 Charlie Alpha, remain on this frequency, taxi into the south ramp via Sierra.
South ramp via Sierra with you, 7 Charlie Alpha, thanks.
November 2903 Alpha going around.
Number 03 Alpha, confirm going around or going missed?
November 2903 Alpha going missing.
Number 03 Alpha, roger, execute the published missed approach procedure.
Flying the published mid-approach procedure, November 2903.
Piper 2903 Alpha, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure, 03 Alpha.
Number 03 Alpha, departure frequency will be 135.4.
135.4 for departure, November 2903 Alpha.
Ontario Tower, November 516 Delta Mike, inbound ILS 26 left.
Or 516 Delta Mike, Ontario Tower. Good afternoon, Ontario. Wind is calm. Runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land, 6 Delta Mike. Ontario Tower, November 36. Correction, 516 Delta Mike, clear of the active at uniform, taxiing to the south apron.
Number 6 Delta Mike, roger, taxi on the south ramp via Sierra. Remain on this frequency.
Via Sierra on this frequency, 6 Delta.
Riverside Tower,
Number 2903 Alpha, Riverside Tower, runway 27, clear to land.
Clear to land on runway 27, 03 Alpha. Riverside Route, November 2903 Alpha, in Alpha, request taxi to the transient partner.
Number 2903 Alpha, Riverside ground. In the future, don't switch to the ground frequency unless you're told to do so. Should stay with tower, exiting the runway all the way to the hold short point. Stay on this frequency for now, taxi into the ramp via Alpha.
Taxi to ramp via Alpha, Rocket, number 2903 Alpha.
General clearance, November 6th, Charlie Mike Cherokee. I would like to attempt the I-4 rating today.
Cherokee 76 Charlie Mike, Jolly clearance. Good evening, good luck on the I-4 destination. Will be, let's go, Kilo, Oscar X-Ray, Romeo.
That's Kilo Oscar X-ray Romeo. 620 Mike.
Yes, sir, good luck.
I'm going to sign off and collect some information for this destination. I'll sign back in. Is that okay?
Absolutely. Just report when you're back with the I-4. And how long do you think it'll be? It's not going to be more than an hour, is it?
No. I have to file and get some charts and plates.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'll still be here, so it shouldn't be a problem. And we'll look for your flight plan to come through. And we should learn some.
Las Vegas Tower Plus 4658 is unusual one on the right, 4500.
Plus 4658, Las Vegas Tower, runway 19 right, clear to land, wind 1807.
Clear to land, 1 right, 465.
Plus 658, exit right, taxi into the ramp via hotel, remain on this frequency today.
Exit right, ramp via hotel, right frequency, 58, 465.
Beach ground, number 953 Whiskey Alpha's Piper Comanche PH4/Alpha. Like taxi the active VFR east departure with the weather.
Calling Long Beach ground, need you to verify your call sign, please.
Sorry about that. 916 Whiskey Alpha, November 916 Whiskey Alpha.
Comanche 9016 Whiskey Alpha, Long Beach ground, roger. And just confirm VFR eastbound.
Eastbound and the east ramp just south of runway 25.
Comanche 9016 Whiskey Alpha, roger, runway 26 right, taxi via Kilo.
Okay, 25 right via Kilo, 916 Whiskey Alpha. Long Beach Tower, November 916 Whiskey Alpha, holding short of 25 right Kilo, ready for departure via Fargo East.
Number 916 Whiskey Alpha, Long Beach Tower, runway 25 right, clear for takeoff, right downwind departure approved.
Clear for takeoff 25 right, right downwind departure 6 Whiskey Alpha.
Good day, Palm Springs, ground scanning Hotel Tango, East Ramp, India, close traffic, runway 31 right.
Papa Hotel Tango, do you mind? Palm Springs ground, say again, aircraft type.
Ray Cessna Sky.
Skyline Tango, do you mind? Thank you, runway 31 right, taxi via Echo and Bravo.
Echo and Bravo, 31 right. Papa Hotel Tango.
We're center 791 Juliet, towards ground left, clear.
Okay, Sky 791 Juliet. We see there's no clearance delivery with this field, so would we get our departure instructions with tower or with ground?
Always go with the lowest, so we'll start with ground. Just say your intentions.
Okay, Sky 791 Juliet. Type Cessna 172 on the south hangars with the numbers requesting VFR advisories to John.
Number 791 Juliet, roger, departure frequency 134.9er, squawk 2061.
1249, that's 2061. Squawk 791 Juliet.
Got 901 Juliet, read back is correct. Are you ready to taxi now?
In a couple of minutes, just got to go inside. It's Sky 791 Juliet, south hangars, 956.
Sky 791 Juliet, roger. Runway 29 right. Taxi via hotel. Correction, taxi via Alpha in Juliet.
29 right, taxi via Alpha and Juliet, Sky 791 Juliet.
Palm Springs Tower, scanning Papa Hotel Tango. Mike is holding short runway 31 right. Bravo, I'm ready for departure, close traffic.
Hey guys, happy Saturday. Man, I'm in the mood for some serious flight training today. I don't know what it is, but the vibe, the force is with me. Cannot wait to get flying. Good to see you, VDG. Good to see you, man. Evanek as well. Yeah, I saw you go live just an hour or 2 hours ago doing Elite Dangerous. Was it fun? I'm quite aware of the space simulators out there. I don't know even if you can call Elite Dangerous a sim, a space sim. Really have my sights on Star Citizen, which I think is looking gorgeous. Curious what you think of Elite Dangerous. Taco, good to see you as well. Snipe, hello. Piper, good day. Welcome, guys. Sorry again also for not announcing my flight today. I'm so busy. A lot of fun stuff, but I just didn't know when to fly. And then suddenly there was a window of opportunity, and so here I am. Thank you for dropping by on such short notice. Okay, so what I'm going to do today in terms of serious flight training is again do some partial instrument flying with no attitude indicator from the start. I've preset my own weather here at wonderful Oceano. We've got 2 statute miles of visibility. That's it. No winds, no other stuff. So I preset my own weather here just to be in full IMC once I departed from Oceano. And I'm going to again try to get some stabilized, controlled flight going. Without a attitude indicator, which to me is the most challenging partial instrument configuration to study. And I'm going to see whether I can set myself up for a unusual attitude while not looking at my computer screen and just, well, moving my yoke and my rudder in all kinds of directions, and then suddenly look up into my screen to see if I can recover from that. I don't know if that really gives me the same kind of simulation as it would with a safety pilot, my instructor near me, but let's see. But that's going to be the plan for today. Avanak Elite Dangerous is kind of like Star Citizen, but smaller. Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. Taco, it's really an honor to be your first student. Yeah, Taco, thank you. So, for those who don't know, I'm actually venturing as part of the Uncertified Pilot also into a little bit more of uncertified flight instruction. I mean, I as you know, I'm loving teaching my girlfriend how to fly, obviously. Mrs. Uncertified, she's just doing a great job. Also in about 2 weeks or so, she's got another chance of doing her first real-world introductory flight lesson here locally in the Netherlands. But again, fingers crossed, the weather here in the Netherlands is usually not good for flying at all. So we're hoping that she is able to fly in about 2 weeks, and we are going to video record that obviously and share it with you here on the stream with her, which I'm really looking forward to. But still, also as part of the Uncertified Pilot, I like to explore ways how I can teach some of you, perhaps newcomers to flight sim, or those who are considering to fly on PilotEdge, to teach you guys the basics and perhaps also some more advanced VFR stuff. And Taco is one of our viewers that sent me a message a while ago, like saying, "Hey Tim, is there any possibility for you to train me how to fly?" Thanks for the follow, Konikon. Thanks. Happy Saturday. And so this is completely new to me, and so I'm a little bit exploring to how we can set up such a uncertified flight school kind of way. I'm already also building some other stuff in the background, but as part of Taco's request, I am thinking about doing a first kind of flight video review kind of training. And so not only Taco, but anyone who is watching, also if you're on YouTube here, if you like some guidance or some feedback on how you're flying, or some tips on how you can improve your touchdowns, or perhaps even some ATC on PilotEdge, VFR still. I'm currently just begun my IFR training, so it's mainly the VFR stuff at the moment. Feel free to make your own flight video of a traffic pattern or your landings or whatever you like me to look at. Also with some audio where you comment on what you're doing and what you find most challenging about the thing that you like to learn or master. And if you got a good quality video and you got a nice topic for me to review, which can be pretty much anything, I would be very happy with your permission to stream that flight video of yours here on the Uncertified Pilot stream, and do some more flight instruction here. Just an experiment to see whether that is great content that you guys enjoy as well. Also content that I enjoy doing. So that's kind of like the idea. So in any way, if you are looking for any guidance on how to become a better sim pilot in terms of VFR flying on PilotEdge, make your own flight video and send me your video either through sending me a link through YouTube, or Twitch here. You can also email me at tim@uncertifiedpilot.com via WeTransfer or whatever. Make it happen. As long as I get your video, we can get some flight instruction going, which I'm really excited to see whether we can do that here as part of the Uncertified Pilot. All right, so having said that, again, it's also time for me now to train myself because, again, I'm still part of that. I'm still busy with that season 2 kind of intention to become an instrument pilot myself here in Flight Simulator. So here we are. Again, a wonderful Oceano. For those who missed my previous stream, someone, and I already forgot his name, my apologies, has made a great new scenery. Great scenery for Oceano. Look at this, 3D grass, wonderful ramps. Also, I love the taxiways. It looks like a rusty, old school kind of airport. It's really, really wonderful. Now, as you can see, I set the weather with only a few miles of visibility. I'm hoping actually that this is even worse enough for me to fly in full IMC when I take off, but we'll have to see. Otherwise, I even reduce the visibility even a bit more, so I can really practice flying in IMC without an attitude indicator, which to me is most challenging. For those who don't know about Oceano, very briefly, I'm not going to use my sectionals that much. Hey, Captain, thanks for the follow. I'm not going to use my sectional that much because I'm just going to fly in echo airspace here. Again, doing turns, steep turns, climbs and descents without a attitude indicator, just for practice. So no ATC this time around other than just CTAF announcements. And eventually, and I need to get a greater pace going. Actually, I like to stream at least 2 times a week, also for my own training benefits. Then I will venture into then doing my first instrument procedural flights, departures and arrivals with ATC here on PilotEdge. And I have to be honest, I mentioned this in the previous stream as well. I haven't been flying with ATC now for, I guess, a month or so. And actually, I'm already feeling a little bit insecure about chatting with Marcus and the other controllers again, which is, I guess, a little bit silly, and it will come back to me as soon as I fly. But still, it's good for me to keep that going because, yeah, it's a skill that I really need to build on. So I'm looking forward to, again, chatting with the controllers. Piper, it's actually RFR currently in Ocean. Yeah, I know. But just to make sure that I've got full IMC going, I just preset my own weather. Thank you, Vega, for the hosts. Much appreciated. Okay, so we don't actually need my iPad that much. We're just gonna fly. Shift 9. There we are. And again, we're flying with the Reality Expansion Pack by Simcoders. This is actually not the latest, but one of the latest beta versions of the upcoming version of the rep, version 3.1.1. And it's a version that has a lot of bug fixes and also some improvements, which is really, really great. So that's the version that I'm currently flying with. Just fasten my seatbelts. Let's go. Door closed. Thank you for the follow, Paul. Thank you, and happy Saturday. Cool and dark check. Parker brakes. Yep, they are set. A live fast fire extinguisher. Door is closed. ELT is set to auto. This stuff, we keep it there. Flap lever is up, and my flaps are actually up. My throttle is working. My trim is working. My trim is now set. Fuel tank set to both. Cutoff is in. Alternate is in. Circuit breakers are nicely tucked in. My switch panel, side switch panel is working. Everything is off except for the beacon, and my avionics are off. Great. That means that we got a cold and dark test here in the cockpit. And again, now with the rep, we can do the external walk around. And again, I need to be a little bit more in tune with how to incorporate the external walk around as part of my flow, because for now, for many streams, well, at least in X-Plane, I've not been doing the external walk around at all because it wasn't possible. Now with the rep, it is possible. Still, though, I don't know whether I'm going to do the external walk around each and every time. Or at least stream it, because it's a little bit redundant also for you guys, I guess, but still it's a wonderful feature that is included in the rep. So this time around, let's just do it once. Let me see. So we cold and dark, yeah, that's good. Well, what we need first is turn on the batteries. Also, well, we've got some fuel, but just let's Let's get a little bit more fuel going, weight and balance, or just flight configuration. I don't know. I guess it's part of it. Total fuel. I don't care. Something like this. You don't have to worry about that. That's good. What we should also do is, and again, my pitot tube cover is not on, is to turn on the landing lights, strobe lights, taxi lights, nav lights, beacon lights were already on, and my pitot heat. I also submitted to Simcoders to include the pitot heat, a pitot heat indication as part of the checks, because I think that's really, really relevant, especially as part of IFR pre-flight, because you really like to know that the pitot heat is actually working, and they are going to include that perhaps in a next version. So that's good to know. Paz. Tim, I wanted to ask you, does the rarity expansion pack for that default 172 have any effect for your FPS? And hello, by the way. Hello, sir. No. Not as far as I noticed. No, it's actually quite good. No, I'm not noticing anything, so that's great. Okay, so everything is on. Well, the idea now is to go outside, and again, the ClickSpot stuff, I guess, is not going to be included in the next updated version. It requires some work on Simcoders' end, but they are aware of the fact that we like to see some clickable ClickSpots here, so we can immediately hop over to spot 5 and it go through the entire flow. For example, here I just like to go to the front of the airplane, see if my lights are on. I also like to look around a bit to see if my position lights are on and my beacon light is on, which currently is a little bit tedious. And also I like to go to my pitot heat here. There it is. And not only be able to toggle the pitot tube cover, but also just to touch the pitot tube to see if it's hot. So I like to see a circle or a color like A2A does here, or something like that, perhaps even something even better. So we got an idea of whether the pitot heat is actually working, because it can fail in X-plane, and I'd like to know whether it's working. I just flipped the switch of the pitot heat, but I don't know whether it's actually working. Right? It's also included in real-world checks. So let's pretend that we did, and we know that it's actually working. Now, if I click this, yeah, now I immediately go to the cockpit. Okay, so then landing lights off, everything is off, 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 off. Let's keep the nav lights on because we've got bad visibility, so we're much more visible for others, and pitot heat is off. Okay, good. Let's check the internal systems first. Avionics and radio stashes seem to work great. Flaps down. They go down, and they go down in sync. That's good. And this is currently in mode C. That's fine by me. We're going to set that soon, soon, soon. Annunciator messages work. The panel works. And it's nicely in sync. And again, we got enough fuel. Good. Avionics off and batteries off. So the flaps are now down. That's good because we can inspect the flaps. Don't know why I fastened my seatbelts just before we started, because I was obviously already doing some external walk-around checks. Peter, Tim, it looks like they have hidden the menu. Yes, isn't it great? That's a suggestion that I made them because I didn't know why they would like to keep that invisible. It's always distracting to me. This is much better. It's lean. And again, guys, that's why Simcoders are listening to us. So if you've got any ideas or ways to improve rep, you think, oh, that would be great, let me know in chat. So I can let them know. I'm also part of the beta team, obviously. They're doing a great job. So we can just feed them with the stuff that we like. Taco, can you do a pattern later? So I know how you do it. Yeah, sure. I am going to do some patterns here on Oceano, Taco, I think. But first, just some real proper practice again without an attitude indicator. I've already failed it, which you cannot see right now because we don't have an engine running, so there's no vacuum. But I guess it will stay like this the entire flight. Still have to figure out whether I guess I need to reset the weather to be able to land here on Oceano. We'll have some fun, but mainly it's flying on these 5 primary instruments, which to me is most challenging. Yes, Donnie. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, altitude, sorry. With no working altitude. No, not without an altitude indicator. So this one is working, but the attitude indicator, the artificial horizon, is not working. Okay, so what we did is our internal checks, cold and dark checks and our internal checks. That means now we can do our external walk around. So let's open the door again. Don't know if that's... it just suddenly reminds me of someone or something I read about being not able to open a door when the flaps are down. but it seems to me, if I look at the structure here, that we would be able to do so, but no, doesn't really matter. Walk around. So now let's do the proper walk around. This is what we did already. Where's the baggage door? Here's the baggage door. Thanks for the follow, Donny. Happy Saturday. Baggage door. Check for security. There's nothing that we can do here. And again, this is not really a big one for me. Tails. Elevator seems to be free. And again, what we would do is not only do this, but also peek a little bit inside the cockpit to see if the yoke corresponds with these deflections, because we also like to know whether there's a wire that is actually still connected to our yoke. I mean, this thing can still be movable, but it doesn't mean that it's actually working with our yoke. The rudders, also we would check all of the antennas here, the nav antennas, comm antennas. These are the nav antennas. Those are the comm antennas. This is the ELT to make sure that they are secure, and we also feel on all the ribbons and all the stuff that the connecting rods that are in between these air surfaces, see if they're really tight and the bolts are, well, the screws are there. Tie down is removed. That's the ELT. That's good flap. Does it have a wiggle? Yep. And also we would look at all of those connecting thingies. Ailerons. Again, we would peek inside the cockpit. Tie down is removed. Fuel looks like a good color. Quantity, we've got enough and no water contamination. Perfect. Chocks are removed and good tire status. And again, in the real world, you would open this little door. And you can see the inner parts of the wheel, and there are actually two marks, one red mark on the rubber of the wheel part thing and one on the metal frame inside, and you would like to see those two red lines to be completely aligned. If they are not aligned, then you probably made a rough landing, and so the rubber the rubber of the wheel has been moved, displaced a bit on its frame, and that might indicate that there's some damage. So that's where that window is for. TM, thanks for the follow. Thank you. Means a lot, guys. But that's nothing. That's nothing that is animated here. Oil quantity, well, not full, but I think that's okay. Still, that is worth a note, because it's okay that you don't fly with full oil, but there is a minimum. And looking at this particular scale, there is no quarts indicating how many quarts are actually in the oil, are actually in the engine. So it's hard for me now to determine whether we already are low on oil quantity. So I'm going to write that down. Again, that's feedback. Oil quantity. Okay. Yeah, November 9-0. That's true. About 6 quarts. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and I like to see that here on the scale. So that's why. Okay. Toggle cover, again, no, but we also like to know whether the intakes here are clear and the filter here is clear. No bird's nest, and actually that happens. And not only here in the intakes, but I've seen videos, you can just Google on YouTube or search on YouTube, when someone just opens the cowling here of the engine and just see a bird's nest there. Well, imagine if you don't spot that and you're gonna fly. You got a fried dove in your engine, and that obviously will quite damage your engine, which is not good at all. So it's important, and that's also why this toggle, why this cover exists, so you can prevent that from happening. Okay, the strut is all good, and again here also the status of the tire, good fuel there. With also sump, obviously. Pitot tube cover is removed. Lights we checked. Ailerons are okay. Flaps, they have a wiggle and they are connected. And this wheel looks good as well. And that completes our external walk around. Evanek, I think you can see the quartz in the maintenance reports. Let's have a look. That is this one. Oh, I love the kneeboard kind of graphic here. It's wonderful. Let me see. So different type of oils, which is also very interesting. So we can change our oils in the engine, and actually the flight performance or the engine performance will change based on the oil that we are using. Here you can see oil fluid quantity. 8 quarts. Minimum 5, it says, for the SP, 172 SP, and a max of 8. Yeah, but it would be nice so we can measure it while we're doing the checkup. Interesting. Oh, we don't have that much charge in the battery. Let's recharge. Connected, which is also nice. You can disconnect the poles of the battery if you're not flying that much. Oh, perhaps that has happened because I didn't fly that much over a week or so. Perhaps the battery was drained. I don't know if in a week that can happen. But what you can do, you can disconnect the battery so it doesn't drain that much on its own when you're not flying. So even in between flights, even if you've got your pre-C turned off, it still remembers as soon as you start up again, which is good. Okay. Minimum is for 5 for short flights, minimum 6 for cross-country. Roger that, thanks, Evanek. Yeah. But again, you would always, I guess, just like to make sure that you've got enough oil in any case. Okay, so that means that we completed our external walk-around. Now we can fasten our seatbelts and get some flying going. Alrighty, fasten seatbelts, door is closed. What is next? Well, next is actually just to prime the engine. We don't have any sophisticated departure plan. What I like to do is just taxi here, cross the runway, go to the other end and take off and just go into the soup and do some practice. So it's going to be quite basic. We need to stay in echo at all times. We got some restricted areas and stuff. Let me just show you quick. So guess charts are just so cool. Oh, I miss studying my sectionals. So let's just do it. So again, here is Oceano, non-towered airport. As you can see, CTAF 122.7 that we're going to tune into. We've got to the north, beautiful San Luis, a Delta class airport. Currently, PilotEdge controllers are not live, so everything is CTAF, but still, let's pretend that it is live and we need to stay clear of that Delta airspace. So that means flying above 2,700 feet in this case, or just staying laterally outside of that delta. Also here to the south, we got a Delta class airport, Santa Maria, but also some restricted areas. And that goes from surface and above. Okay, so I guess to ever space, I guess. Something that we need to avoid. And we also got an MTR here, VR249, so we can expect some military aircraft activity, flying activity also here in the sim, because PilotEdge is generating that as well. And that is about it. We got some Victor Airways, usually also some IFR flights are flying across those, but mainly we got Echo airspace. We got some mountains there to the east, but we've got enough room here to fly in this airspace here. It's going to be fun. Peter, I notice planes are livery dependent. If you change your livery, you basically have a new plane. Everything resets. I don't know what you mean with that. Perhaps it can. Or with X-plane you mean, if you change to a different livery. Yeah, that's the case, I think. It is a different folder also in X-plane, I believe. But as long as you are flying with the same livery, in my case the Papa Hotel Tango Mike, the rep remembers, stores your wear and tear of the airplane, which is really, really nice. But again, Echo airspace, quite basic. Okay, boom. Thanks for the follow, cats. Thanks. Alrighty. Battery on. Mix, no, the throttle a bit in, and that's about it. Fuel tanks are set to both. Parker brakes are still set, and let's prime. So fuel pump on. 1, 2, 3. You can see the fuel flow needle very nicely pumping there, showing fuel flow there. So we're priming the engine. And that's about it. Yeah, is there anyone walking around here in the prop area? No, I don't think so. So clear prop. Whoa, there we go. Hey. That's weird. We just drove over some kind of Looney Tune. Ooh, we've got a helicopter. But why was my park and brake not set? believe it was. Let me try again. Parking brakes released. I like to make sure that's not a bug still of the beta version here. Why do I hear the stall horn? Oh no, I know. I've already submitted that to Simcoders and they changed it. Yeah, that was a much too sensitive tweak there. Yeah, I know. So that's not part of the upcoming update, but it's good to remember. Flaps are up. Again, parking brake set. Alright, cut off. There we are. So again, if the engine is already primed. So there's a little bit of throttle. I guess my parking brakes were not set, or I incidentally tapped my brakes here and the parking brakes were released. I never noticed that before as part of the beta still, so I think that was my fault. Generator on. We see a rise of the ammeter. Let's lean also a bit for ground. There was peak RPM, something like this. Back to 1,000. That's good. Frequency is 1 to 2.7. Good. No value here in checking the ADAS because I preset my own weather. You drove over a bunny, exactly. So that's on, and no enunciated messages, and again our engine is warming up. It's not warm enough still, but as soon as it hits the 75 degree, which it will very soon do, we can start our taxi, and we can only do our run up when we've got a green arc going there with in terms of oil temperature, otherwise we might damage the engine, and it will here as part of the rep. Also got someone else here on Oceano flying with me. That's awesome. Okay. So as you can see, the attitude indicator is not responding. It's not reset, so that's clearly an indication that we've got a broken attitude indicator. Usually also the heading indicator is also based on a similar kind of vacuum system, so if I would spot this as part of my usual flights, I would also immediately check my vacuum pump here and also notice or make sure that my heading indicator is then also faulted, is also not working, because probably both will work. It can also be the case that only one instrument has broken, like in this case, something mechanical that is going wrong. But it's usually a very good practice to double check all the other instruments, more like a system check. Now, in case in low RPM the vacuum system is not strong enough to give us enough airflow as part of the gyro, but if I push a little bit more in RPM, you can see that it's gradually coming into the green arc. That's also during the run-up why you like to do this check, to know that the vacuum is actually okay. Alrighty, but we have a warm enough engine here to start taxiing. Again, 2.9, that's good. We are on CTF, so we're ready to go. Okay. Parking brakes released. Well, let's go to the right there and cross midfield. There was brake edge, my side. But still, the stall horn in this version is much too sensitive, but that was already fixed, I believe, in the next beta version. I think the next update of the rep is going to be made public very, very soon. Thanks, Egg. Thank you for the follow. Oceano traffic, yellow skyhook is crossing the runway midfield, taxiing to 29 for departure. Oceano. Some helicopter flying over there, quite free roaming. I think also in X-Plane, downdrafts are simulated. Very, very professional. On a windsock. Okay, but again, my slip indicator, turn indicator are working. My hand indicator is working as well, and it's still in sync with my magnetic compass. That's good. didn't do my flight control test. So you can see already in a week or so that the subtleties or the it's not really a subtlety at all, but the nice habits, and perhaps they're not even habits, just the checks and just the small things of making a good flight leave you. And that's why it's good to fly regularly, especially as a student pilot, to really drill and practice that stuff. Or just to use the checklist, obviously. No, exactly, Avanek, that was not a helipad. Okay, coming up to the runway. Let's do a power check. What a nice airport. I like the 3D grass so much. Now there are no winds, so there's no particular direction to point my Skyhawk towards. Okay, there we go. Again, too sensitive stall horn there. It really sounds like I'm having a bunny here somewhere in the cockpit. All right, engine is not in the green, so let's not go idle here. Let's set it to 1200 RPM. Any higher, we might damage the engine. Also set my parking brakes here and just allow the engine to warm up first, because that's important stuff. Wow. But again, I really need to fly more often. I mean, when I completed my VFR training, at that time, flying once a week was fine. But again, as part of proper training, it's good that you train at least 2 times a week. And really so busy with work that he didn't find the time, or didn't make the time. And that's not good. Prioritize on flight training. Alright, what is my old temperature doing? It is in the green. Wonderful. So mixture full in. Let's go to 1800s. There we are. No unshaded messages. Everything is stable. Good. Left mag. Ah. That's the sound of a fouled spark plug. Now, in the real world, you won't hear that metallic sound. I mentioned this in the previous stream as well. Simcoders is going to fix that, but not in the upcoming version, I believe. Okay, fouled spark plugs. So let's go to 2000 RPM. Let's lean until we get a rough engine. There it is. Let's keep it there for about 20 seconds so we heat up the insides of the cylinders and we just melt off the lead that has been forming around the spark plugs. It just heats up, it melts and evaporates. Always good to keep a check on your engine while you're doing this, because it might overheat. Yes, don't worry about the work. Fly more. Exactly. AI, what are you flying? I'm flying without an attitude indicator, as you can see. Just some partial instrument flying, and also some unusual attitudes. I'm hoping that I can set myself up for an unexpected, unusual attitude while not looking at my screen. Back to 1800s. Let's check what's going on. Left. Good. Back to both. And right. Back to both. Okay, we've got clean spark plugs, and let's go full idle. Let's see if the engine doesn't crit on us. No, and still we got oil pressure and no unshaded messages. Perfect. Back to 1000. Awesome. Trim is all set. Good. I'd like to do my control test. So to the right, that one goes down, that one goes up, that one goes down, and that one goes up, down. Trim is working too, and my rudders are working as well. Awesome. Alrighty, 29 is set on the heading bug. Straight out departure. We're just going to climb to 3,000 feet or so, and let's do some turns and stuff. Anything else? No. Landing lights, strobes, parking brakes released. Sure, no one is on final. Oceano traffic. Yellow Skyhawk is departing runway 29 for a straight out departure, doing some practice turns above 3,000 feet around the field. Oceano. Good. There's center line. A little bit of right rudder here. There we go. Airspeed is alive. Engine is still in the green. Almost feel like I'm part of a news broadcast with a helicopter that close. And rotate. There we go. Put the nose a little bit down to get to VY first. As you can see, no attitude indicator. Perhaps I need to reset the visibility even a little bit more, so we got less visibility for me to train in full IMC, because I can still infer the horizon a bit. Trimming a tiny bit. Looking at my turn indicator there, it's so weird. Again, it's so good training actually to not cover up your attitude indicator, but keep it broken and giving you false, erroneous information, because it's much more distracting. All right, there we are. Let's also see a little bit more. Where are we? Oh. Okay. I guess because I installed the Reality XP GPS, suddenly my default GPS doesn't have any data. Alright, so I don't know where I am or when I will fly in airspace. Well, I could just keep PilotEdge on, I guess. Well, 4 o'clock, no, I won't. PilotEdge, disconnect. Okay. So, basic climb, still I feel in control. But I don't like the fact that I still see the horizon a bit. Lights. Weather. That's better. Apply. Yes. B2, that's true. That is true. No GPS. Okay, flying to the south. Gain a little bit of altitude. And at 3,000, just some level flights. Landing lights off. Well, let's make a turn to the east. Standard rate turn. There's to east. And straight and level. And nose down. Already feeling a little bit anxious here. Allow the speed to increase. A little bit to the right there. Too much. Keep my mixture just full in. Okay, now I can retrim. Retrim, retrim. Good. Good. Alright, straight. Kind of straight and level. That's good. So, what are we going to do? Let's just first do a proper turn again to the north. Stay on level. Just the basics first. So right turn, a little bit of yoke pull. Looks good. Really scanning quite quickly. So north. Straight and level. Come on, pulling on that yoke, but again the vertical speed indicator is lagging. That makes it even a little bit more complex. Okay, let's climb a little bit more to say 5,000 feet, and then I'm going to do the unusual attitude stuff. I feel quite comfortable doing the basics. Just full power, and my airplane is going to climb on its own. Good. Little bit of right rudder there, because we are in full power setting. Good. Thanks for the follow, Exotic. Thanks. Partial flying in IMC. Practice. At least that's the idea. So at 5,000. So then I'm going to do some unusual attitudes. So what I'm going to do, and I'm hoping that that will be as confusing as there will be someone else in my cockpit doing this. I'm just gonna keep my rudder and my yoke in different positions while not looking at the at the screen, and then try to recover. And that's gonna be interesting, guys. Vega, yeah, watching this making me nervous too. Oh yeah. It is. Yeah, I've been looking at a lot of footage the last few days at the Irma hurricane. Man, that is not good, that stuff. But I'm quite glad that Florida is making really good preparations, at least that's what CNN was reporting and other broadcasters. That Florida is doing a really good job as a community to prepare and keep everyone safe. That was good to hear, but still a hurricane, category 4 I believe now. It's gonna hit in the next 18 hours. Hoping that Frugal also will be safe. I think he stays at Florida. I don't think he's gonna move away, but let's make a turn to the west. Why not? Keep that climb going. Small corrections. .500 feet to go. Oh man, I have missed flying. This is so cool. A little bit nose up trim. Good. GPS seems to be tracking again. Yeah, but there's no data in it. I don't see any airspaces or airports. So that's why I also signed off from PilotEdge for now. Oh, Paz, I didn't catch that you were actually living in Florida. Well, best of luck to you. My gosh. Thanks for the follow, Max. Thank you. Much appreciated. Okay. Coming up to 5,000. Let's do some unusual attitudes. Guys, this is gonna perhaps make me crash. Because recovering from an unusual attitude without an attitude indicator... Push down. Airspeed, there it goes. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but what I'm going to do is just not look at the screen. You guys will know what's going on. I don't. I'm pulling on the yoke a little bit to the right, left, down, right. Let's see. We're going up, nose down. We're straight. Speed is low. It's going to increase again, so a little bit pull on the yoke. I'm still on west. That's interesting. A little bit up, but just keep it there. Slow, and then a little bit push on the yoke. Recovered, still on 5,000. Okay, so I need to, when I'm making corrections for my training, I need to keep my yoke for at least 2 seconds or so in a particular way, because otherwise it would not really affect my my flight here. But I recovered. That's good. Okay, finish. Where's Mireille? She is doing some work, I believe. Needs to catch up on some work. Nerds, thanks for following. Okay, let's make a turn to the south. And let's do it again. But this time I'm going to keep my yoke for a few seconds in a particular direction. Okay. Again. Up, left. Sorry, I will acknowledge you very, very soon. I'm just in an unusual attitude, impartial flights. Let's have a look. Very slow. We're going down first. Straight. And pull up. Speed. Speed, 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 speed. Good. Keep it there, keep it there, keep it there. A little bit push down. I'm noticing that my airspeed indicator is actually a much more stable and reliable instrument to have an idea of whether I'm pitched down or pitched up than my vertical speed indicator, which is so sensitive. And there I am again, recovered. That was fun. And I have to tell you, it is an unusual attitude, an unexpected unusual attitude. I have no idea what's going on when I'm doing this. Taco, got to go to work. Got other videos soon. That's awesome, Taco. Thank you for dropping by. Looking forward to your video. And guys, anyway, if you are liking my content and if you like to have some guidance and some tips on how to become a better VFR pilot yourself, I'm venturing into ways to do some remote uncertified flight training. And so I'm inviting anyone to make a flight video of something that you like to practice on flying, or would like me to comment on, with some comments by yourself while you're flying. And you can send me that flight video, and if it's good enough, if it's fun enough, I'm gonna stream that video, your video, here on the Uncertified Pilot channel and give some tips and guidance on how you can further perfect your landings or your takeoffs or your A to C. That might be fun content as well to stream here on the Uncertified, so feel free to do so. Okay, so we're making a turn, I don't know why. Let's do the same thing again. Look down. Let's go down, up. You can also hear so much. I'm not looking at all, but I could just hear at the winds. Let's have a look. Okay, first straight. There we are. We are going down, so up. Speed is slowing, so I'm probably going straight on, so a little bit push. Yeah, that's much better. My airspeed indicator is a much better way to know what I'm doing in terms of pitch than my vertical speed. It's actually not that difficult. Go to the south. Hey, good to see you. Okay. Let's go slow. So I know already that we're gonna slow. Nose up. There we go. Alright, first straight and level, nose down, speed is slow. Down and up, 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 up. Speed is not over speed yet. Down, 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 speed going, and then power. Okay, nose up a bit. Good. Good. I'd like to do that once more. 1,000 feet lost. That was interesting. Okay, so a stall, and then just keeping road. Yeah, that's nice. Keeping a turn going. Pulling on the yoke, right yoke, and slow speed. That's interesting. That one was tricky, Vega. That one was tricky. But I'm intrigued by the fact that through this unusual attitude training, I'm learning that the attitude indicator is actually also quite a, and I knew this based on the King schools and stuff that I'm studying, but I'm learning it now by experience, which is great as well. Heading back to 5,000. Let's do it one more time. Pass, 36 souls on board, I like that. Yep, me too. Keep that climb going, Tim. Good. Man, I enjoy flying. I also like the challenge. Learning something new, getting more intimately familiar with my primary instruments. I mean, obviously as part of my VFR flying, I was also quite aware of my primary instruments, but for example, the turn indicator, but also the speed indicator as a source of information that tells you your pitch was not that explicitly clear to me. All right, let's do it again. 5,000 feet, pull on the throttle. There we are. We're not watching. Pulling on the yoke. Left turn. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Let's go extreme, let's go extreme. We're probably going to spin. Nose down. Straight. Down. I'm still, yeah, now we're going to go up, 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 up. And now I'm going to keep it there still a bit. Speed indicator, only speed indicator and turn indicator I'm looking at. Good. Speed is going slow, so pitch down. And now I'm looking at my vertical speed. It's much more at ease and full power. Okay. And there we are. And back to the south. Guys, I feel comfortable with my unusual attitudes in partial instruments. Is there another partial instrument configuration that I might check here? I mean, I think the broken attitude indicator is actually the most difficult one. I could also fill multiple, obviously, but that's quite rare. Also, the heading indicator I checked. So without a heading, only flying on the magnetic compass, doing time turns with the turn indicator, which was also basic, quite precise actually. So 3, if you make a standard rate turn, you know that you will be turning with 3 degrees per second. And so if you like to make a 90-degree turn, you know you need to make a turn for 10 seconds or so, or 30 seconds or so. And so you can make really great heading corrections based on that timed turn. But just in terms of skill, unusual attitudes, let's just do one with the attitude indicator so we know the difference, how much more easy it is to do so. Edit failures, instruments, primary, and always working. Apply. And there we are. Now look how much information the attitude indicator gives you right off the bat. So let's do it once more. Up. Let's go right. Keep it right, keep it right, keep it right, keep it right. And now look. Down. Keep it here, airspeed's increasing, full power. I can only glance or look at the attitude indicator to recover. It's so much more easy. Awesome. Okay, I think I checked that. Proud. Let's get some better weather going. Presets. Well, we're not flying on PilotEdge either. Match real-world conditions. Downloading the weather. Let's have a look at what Oceano looks like currently. Oh. All right. Where are we? So we don't have a GPS. That's cool. So let's figure out where we are with a, I guess, a overcast on all sides. A little bit of nose up trim here. Is there any hole we can peek through in this layer? I don't think so. We're really, yeah, surrounded by clouds. Okay, we're at 4,000 plus. So what we could do, well, and obviously I'm only relying on my sights. We could also just do some. Well, let's do that. Why not? Radio navigation. Let's have some fun. Get a cruise going. Something like this. Let's lean also a bit. Okay. VOR. Morro Bay 112.4. Switch. There it is. 14 nautical miles. That's good. So let's... We're currently flying northeast. Let's see where it is. There it is. So it's northwest. Okay. Okay, so that means that we are probably flying somewhere around here. Flying that direction, northeast, somewhere around here. 40 nautical miles. That's this. So we're quite near Oceano, actually. Okay. Let's circle down, which is not good with an overcast. I can see some clouds clearings over there. Perhaps that would be a good way to go about it. There's no other patch around me, right? No. Nose down. Let's turn on our landing lights just to be a little bit more visible. And we can also just turn on PilotEdge.
Connected to PilotEdge.
Alright. And let's fly a little bit into the direction of San Luis. As long as we stay above 2,700 feet, we know we're clear of that delta. Yeah, it does look like Antarctica. Now, we don't know what the weather is like at the bottom. So what we could do is sign into the ATIS of San Luis 120.6. Also, I've got ForeFlight here, so I can just read it out, but just have some fun with the ATIS.
San Luis CORGNL information Bravo. 2200 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable. Visibility 10. Sky conditions 900 overcast.
900 overcast.
Dew point 16.
Alright.
Altimeter
900 overcast. Oh, altimeter, damn it.
San Luis CORGNL information Bravo. 2200 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable. Visibility 10. Sky conditions 900 overcast. Temperature 16. Dew point 16. Altimeter 2996. Arriving runways 25, 29. Departing runways 25, 29.
Alright, set it.
Advise on initial contact.
Gonna stick at around 3,000 so we don't fly into the 2,700 delta. 10 miles away from San Luis. Yeah, I know. Come on, Tim, let's just fly first at 3,000 feet to, what was it called? Morro Bay. So we know where we are. Let's go into the soup. Haha. And let's track this radial. 9 miles to go. Pulling a bit on my yoke, so let's do some nose up trim. Oh yeah! This is cool. Needle is slowly coming in. Compass is synced with our heading indicator, good. 10 degrees outside and we have moist, obviously, so that means that we run the risk of pitot or icing. So let's turn on the pitot heat. Needle is there. Okay, a little bit more gas. It's 8 nautical miles to go. Let's go a little bit lower, so we're also in the clouds, some good practice. There we go. From Morro Bay, 8. Yeah, that means that we are already in the delta, or above the delta. Oh. Okay. Catching again that needle, 6 nautical miles, and then, well, what we're going to do then is fly a radial of that, and which is 141. That might bring us over or just in front of Oceano. Okay, good, a little bit more power. So far, so good. And how long do we need to fly to get there? That would be something like 11 miles, something like that. Okay, 11 miles. Some radial tracking here in IMC, that's fun. I can tell, I feel much more comfortable now flying on instruments after all of this practice. Not only of today, but also of the previous streams. Finish. The no published approach. The TLS. Yes. Let's see if we can get out of this soup 900 feet ceiling. Alright, there goes the needle. One 140. Keep above 2700s. A little bit more power. Also have a look how many miles we need to fly away from Morro Bay, so we know we are outside of the delta of St. Louis and we can start our descent. All right, fly a little bit 140-ish, and then try to catch the outbound radial away from Morro Bay. You can already try that. Because the needle will be quite sensitive, 2.7 miles away. Okay, so that would be around 8 nautical miles or so. Currently at 3. Waiting for that needle to creep in. Then we're going to do some traffic patterns at Oceano with good weather. Well, perhaps with 900 feet ceiling, that might be interesting as well. To do some traffic patterns. Totally irresponsible to do it in the real world, but as a VFR pilot. .4 nautical miles. Needle is creeping in. Good. As expected. This is fun. Okay. Making that turn to 1.4-ish. I love the attitude indicator. Alright. 6 nautical miles away from Morro Bay. So far so good. Engine, everything is okay. Good. Can go a little bit more to the south here to catch that needle. 7 nautical miles on the clock. 1 nautical mile to go. And then we're going to descend and see whether we can descend out of this cloud layer. I mean, we were picking up the 80s of San Luis. It doesn't mean that the same weather applies to Oceano. And we're hitting about 8 nautical miles. There we go. Okay, so reduce power. There goes the nose. No need to push down on the yoke. Thanks for the follow, Leo. Thank you. Happy Saturday. And this particular track would lead us very close to Oceano. I would expect to see it somewhere on my left side if we break out of the clouds. Obviously, I would also now do a CTAF frequency. Well, we could. Northwest, fly over Oceano, and then we're going to pick up the pattern. Runway 29, I guess. Yeah. Oceano traffic, yellow. Skyhawk is 5 miles northwest of the airport, currently at 2,500, and descending. I'm going to overfly the field and enter the traffic pattern to land on runway 29 for some touch and goes. Oceano. Alrighty. Thanks for the follow, Manuel. Thank you. Where is the ground? Yeah! That looked good. Or was that just X-Plane updating the weather? Come on, keep that descent going. 2,000 feet. That was unexpected because we know that the seating would be around 900. So what's also interesting is also, I think in the real world, if you look at IMC flights, the clouds, the cloud puffs here can be quite distracting. Especially if you are flying on partial instruments, because they might indicate that you're going down or up or making a turn. As a V4 pilot, you're so used to looking outside of the window to infer your attitude. "12 nautical miles away." Perhaps you already overshot Oceano. Yeah, a bit. Let's see what happens. What we could do is make 360s, also a nice exercise, why not? We know that ground is at 0 here at the coast. Like to descend with about 500 feet per minute. Keep on circling. 500 feet to go until I am expecting to break out of the clouds. Let's see if that is correct. Come on, descend him. Descend. Yes! Where are we? Yeah, we're a little bit south. There is Oceano. Awesome. Damn it. Thanks for the follow, George. Oceano traffic. Yellow Skyhook is 4 miles south of the airport, currently at 900 feet inbound to enter the left downwind runway 29 for some touch and goes. Oceano. Now the traffic pattern would be at 1,000 feet, so I guess officially we're not able to fly traffic patterns with this weather. But I guess that's just the advantage of flying a sim. Landing lights are on, strobe lights are on. Mixture full in, parking brakes are released, fuel tank set to both. Good. Pitot heat can turn off, 15 degrees Celsius. Landing bug is set. Let's do keep a little bit at altitude. I mean, I don't like to be in sudden IMC, but I also like to have some gliding distance from the airfield. What we could do is fly a more tight traffic pattern, so in case of an engine out, I do have some room to get back to the runway. I don't see any other traffic as far as I can see. Beautiful Oceano. Watch that speed. Oceano traffic, Yellow Skyhook is now entering the left downwind runway 29, touch and goes, Oceano. More power, Tim. You're going too slow. 80 knots. I'd like to be. Heading back at the bottom. Parallel with the runway, checked. Already 1 notch of flaps, that's good. Nose down. Do see some traffic there. Yep. Okay, interesting. Nordo traffic. Not making any announcements on the radio. Where is he? There is he. Just over the struts. Oceano traffic. Yellow Skyhook is now turning left base, runway 29, touch and goes. Oceano. Alright, good speed. Bit less power. Here comes the heading bug. Again, straight and level. No one there to the right. Awesome. There goes the speed. Again, this is why I love flying with Trek IR. Oceano traffic. Yellow Skyhook is turning final runway 29. Touch and goes. Oceano. Good speed. Good turn. And straight. A little bit nose up trim there. Alrighty. Still pulling on that yoke, so more nose up trim. Keep a ensure a stabilized approach. 65 knots, that's good. Alright, focus. Nice and stable. Bit too high. Here we come. Nose up. A little bit of a rise. And nose down. Very nice. Flaps up. Full power. Right rudder. Our speed is increasing. There's rotation. And there we go. What a nice airport. It's so cute. Oh, not too much nose up. Don't like to stall during my takeoff. Alrighty. Hey, Avanek, thanks. Join. Please join. Now, what would be fun is that we are going to fly at 1,000 feet traffic pattern, or perhaps even 1,100 or 1,200, so we are flying in the soup. So we lose touch with the airport and our horizons, and that might be an interesting instrument exercise. Oceano traffic, yellow sky is now turning left crosswind 29, touch it goes, Oceano. Yes! There we are. A little bit nose down, nose down, nose down, nose down. Good. Well, 1,000 would work as well, I guess. No, it wouldn't. Let's go a little bit more high. Oceano traffic, yellow sky is now turning left downwind runway 29. Touch and goes. Oceano. Okay, so 1,300 then. There's downwind. Now, the only problem is we do not know how far we need to fly until we are clear of the runway. Beam the numbers, I mean. Alright, one notch of flaps. I mean, we know our speed. So we could have just looked at... I don't know the calculations by heart. How many miles we would fly with at 80. Okay, we can already start our descent a bit. Pretty sure we're already far past the airport. Let's see where we are. This is cool. Yeah, there we are. Nice. Alright. Oceano traffic, yellow sky is turning left base, runway 29, touch and goes. What I also like to do is to practice an engine out. We can do that in our next round. And I know there's nothing better than a unexpected engine out in a pattern. Oceano traffic, yellow sky is turning final runway 29, touch and goes. Oceano. Bit too high. So pulling on my yoke still, so some nose up trim. Good. Oh man, there's no better use of a Saturday than to do some flight training. I'm really enjoying myself.
Skyhawk, we're going to cross the runway. We have the traffic call final inside Oceano.
Nice call. Dad, thank you for the follow. Alright, so Avanek is crossing. And it's always such a... how do you say that? Well, it's so nice to hear when someone acknowledges you on the radar saying I have the other traffic in sight, because then for me as a pilot, as a recipient, I know that oh, there's also AI there just in front of 29. Let's have a look what he's doing. Yep, on the runway. Oceano traffic, yellow Skyhawk is going for a go around. Other traffic on the runway. Oceano. Power.
Those damn drones.
Damn drones indeed. Okay. There we go, full power. Incrementally retracting the flaps, otherwise you lose so much lift that you actually go down, which is not good. VY again. Oh, Shannon traffic. Yellow Skyhawk is now already making a 180 turn back to the left downwind 29, which goes, so Shannon. A little bit nose up. Perhaps it's better not to do a engine out right now. A little bit more nose up, VY. There we are. Overshot that a bit. Yeah, let's stick around 900s. And 1 notch flaps. Goes down. Waiting for that call by Avanek. I see him there on the run up. Thanks for the follow, guys. Jake, thank you. Welcome on board. Oceano traffic, yellow Skyhawk is turning left base, 29, Chicos. Oceano. Already in the white band. Second notch of flaps.
Oceano traffic, Skyhawk taking off runway 29 for touch and go, so Oceano.
Alright, there goes Avanek. Making that turn, watching my speed here. Again, this is the most dangerous, crucial turn as part of a traffic pattern, because usually you're flying slow flights. And you're making turns, and you're not looking at your instruments, and... Overshot my turn there, clearly. It's not good. I can see the traffic on the runway. Oceano traffic, yellow Skyhawk is now on final 29, touch and goes. Have the traffic on the runway in sight. Oceano. Alright, Vanek is clear of the runway. As you can see, there also traffic on top of us. That's the Victor Airway, so that's IFR traffic on PilotEdge. And that's also what I love about PilotEdge, that it's crowding the airspace, even though it's AI traffic. You don't know the difference. Whether that's actually AI or a human flying, also here flying on the
Oceano
PilotEdge
traffic,
network.
Skyhawk, left crosswind.
But it's
runway
really,
29,
really
goes,
nice.
Oceano.
Makes me feel that my flight sim world has come to life. Alright, a little bit crab to the left here, so a little bit right rudder. Left aileron-ish. Nice. Full power. A little bit of... Whoa, no, too much.
Oceano traffic, Skyhawk, turning left downwind
Yeah,
runway
there we
29, touch and go, so Oceano.
Already got a nose up there. Oceano traffic, yellow Skyhawk on the upwind 29, touch it goes. Oceano. Keep that nose down, Tim, come on. It's the second time. At no point during my upwind I should see my airspeed decrease. Good. And again, 300 feet below traffic pattern altitude, which is usually 1,000 feet AGL, you start to make your first turn. Crosswind turn, I mean. So Presuming it's 1,000 feet, 700 feet, there we go. Oceano traffic, yellow Skyhawk is turning left crosswind 29, as you go, Oceano. Keep the climb going. Now if you're flying on flight following or VFR and you get departure instructions, for example, Papa Hotel Tango Mike, fly a particular heading and that altitude.
Oceano traffic, Skyhawk turning left base, runway 29er, touch and go, Oceano.
You can start to make that turn already from 400 feet AGL. Oceano traffic, yellow Skyhawk is turning left downwind, runway 29, touch and go, Oceano. So there's a difference in altitudes there. 300 feet below traffic pattern altitude is your crosswind turn, and 400 feet AGL is when you can fly your assigned departure
Oceano traffic,
instructions.
Skyhawk turning final, runway 29er, touch and go, Oceano.
Alrighty, there we go. Just in the clouds. Push down on my yoke bits. There we go. Okay. Oceano traffic, yellow Skyhawk has an engine out, returning to the field, gonna try to make 29, Oceano. Okay, let's pretend we have got an engine out. I'm obviously not gonna pull on the mixture.
And Oceano traffic will make a fast pass over the runway to give you some space, Oceano.
Roger, thanks, Papa Tati Mike. Okay, no flaps, you can see my speed is not really that great. I do have some gliding distance, and that's the measure for how far away you need to fly your traffic pattern. Because you need to make the field, right, with an engine out. So usually that's a mile or something like that away from the airport. No one is there. Alright, we're gonna make some, still have some altitude here. So another notch of flaps. There's no way for us to slow down even more, so that's the challenge here. We got a short runway. Slow flight turn.
Oceano traffic, Skyhawk turning left crosswind, runway 29er,
We're
touch
too
and go,
high.
Oceano.
We're too high, we're too high, we're too high. Full left rudder reflection, so forward slip. Oceano traffic, yellow Skyhawk is now in short final, 29, Oceano. Putting my butt into the wind. Not smooth, but good enough for me.
Oceano traffic, Skyhawk turning left downwind, runway 29er, touch and go, Oceano.
Oceano traffic, yellow Skyhawk has a running engine again. We're now on the upwind, 29, staying in the traffic pattern. Oceano. Here we go. Okay, so it's also good that Avanek responded correctly by doing a low approach, so he expedited his traffic pattern for me to do my landing. But the only thing I could correct for was to extend my downwind leg just a little bit more, so I would be better on altitude. But you only got one shot, right, with an engine out. You cannot just give some power or just to say, well, I'm going to do a go around with an engine out, obviously. That makes it difficult. Oceano traffic, yellow Skyhawk is now turning left crosswind 29, touch and goes, Oceano. And that's why the forward slip is such a great technique to slow down.
Oceano traffic, Skyhawk turning left base, runway 29er, touch and go, Oceano.
Not really to slow down, but to lose a lot of altitude without speeding up. You just drop down like a brick. Oceano traffic, yellow Skyhawk is turning left downwind, runway 29, touch and goes, Oceano.
Oceano traffic, Skyhawk final, runway 29er, touch and go, Oceano.
Final, can I see him? Yes, I see him. It's over there. Good old Avanek. Okay. Sniper, how do you forward slip? Well, what you do is you give rudder, either left or right. So you just do right, as you can see. You can also hear the wind, because now wind is coming from our left side here, hitting the airframe. And if you keep doing this, you can see you're gradually turning. So in order to stay on track, I need to give left aileron, opposite aileron, to stay on track. And this is a great way to slow down. It's an air brake. You're using your tail, your airframe, to slow down. And that's a forward slip, which is a great technique, and also one that you would use with a crosswind. Too far away of the airport. Now with an engine out, I wouldn't make it. Oceano traffic, yellow Scark is now turning left base, runway 29, touch it goes, Oceano. So quite low. Not in the wide band yet with my airspeed, so 20 degrees is not allowed. Or I could, but I would rip off my flaps.
Skyhawk turning left. Oh, and there's someone at my door.
Oh, that's nice. Alright. There we are in the wide band. Northern notch of flaps. Oceano traffic, yellow Skyhawk is now turning left final, runway 29, touch it goes, Oceano. Watch out, because still I cannot exceed that wide band, so a little bit nose up. To keep my speed within the wide band. It's the only thing I can do to slow down. Yep, there we are. Well, and these kind of subtleties or techniques or tips or whatever really so easily seep away when you don't fly that often. And you notice that in terms of your flight performance. So we're also going too fast, like to be at around 65-ish, 70-ish. Okay, there we go. So again, no need for us to lose any altitude here. I mean with a forward slip. Just plain old throttle, looking at my cowling to see if I'm a little bit crabbed into the wind, because the airplane is going to do that naturally. And that would tell me that I would need some forward slip technique to get on the runway. Nice landing, much better. Flaps up. Full power, neutralize to yoke. Rotate and go up again. Oceano traffic, yellow Skyhawk is now on the upwind 29, close traffic. Can see Evanek pausing there in the air. Well, he's really making quite a climb there. Well, I can make it also. Let's see if we can hit him. He's making his turn a little bit too early, I think. He's at 500. Let's wave, guys. Evanek entering the door. There's our crosswind. Oceano traffic, yellow Skyhawk is now on the left crosswind, 29, close traffic. Oceano. Really pushing on that yoke, so a little bit nose down trim. Oceano traffic, yellow Skyhawk is now turning left downwind, runway 29, Oceano. What I also like is announcing your calls in the turn rather than when you are on the leg. And that has two reasons actually. The first one being that you're much more precise if you do your calls when you're making the turn, because there's only one point where you're making your turn, right? If I'm saying I'm on the downwind, I could be on any spot on the downwind. I could be already beam the numbers already before midfield. But if I'm saying I'm turning from downwind to base, you know exactly where I am. So it's much more precise. And also, in the turn, because you are turning, there's a much greater surface, because the top of your airplane is much more visible to other airplanes, and they are much more easy to spot you when you're making your calls. So those are the advantages of doing the calls in the turn. So I can see someone there in the pattern. That might be AI. So what we could do is the following. Oceano traffic, Yellow Skyhawk is on the downwind. We're going to extend the downwind for runway 29 to make some room for the landing traffic on short final. Oceano. Not descend too much. So I'm buying myself and him some time, so I don't need to do a go around. The only disadvantage of doing this is, in case of an engine out, I'm too far of the runway. Oceano traffic, Yellow Skyhawk is now turning left base 29 for a touch and go. Got the landing traffic in sight. Oceano. A little bit more power. Tiny bit more. There we are. Again, no one to the right. One notch of flaps. See the landing traffic there. Oceano traffic. Yellow Skyhawk is now turning left final runway 29 for a touch and go. Have the landing traffic in sight. Oceano. Less power. Avenak disconnected. Well, Avenak, thank you for dropping by. You're in the pattern. Much appreciated. Thanks for the follow. Really great guy. I love having a really great guy on board. Happy Saturday. A little bit less power there. We're a bit too high. Let's do one more engine out practice when we are in midfield in our downwind. Again, noticing whether I'm crabbed into the wind. Not so much. Thanks for the follow, Dino. Thank you. Welcome on board. A little bit more power here. Nice and proud. Nose up. Just bleed off that energy. Good. Flaps up. Neutral yoke. Full power. Dance on the pedals. Track that center line, VR, and there we go. Now keep the nose a little bit down so we can hit VY first. There's VY. And now trim to keep it there. Much better. Bit nose down still. Oceano traffic, Yellow Skyhawk is on the upwind, 29. A full stop this time. Or 29. Oceano. Drifting off my heading here a bit. I'm gonna do that flight review soon. I'm noticing that for actually many streams that I'm so focused, I guess, on my speed when I'm doing my upwind that I'm forgetting about my heading or my ground track actually. Oceano traffic, Yellow Skyhawk is making the left crosswind 29 full stop. Oceano. Thanks for the follow, William. Thank you. Welcome aboard. Alright, there's our crosswind, overshot it already a bit. 800 this time to stay a little bit underneath that cloud base. Oceano traffic, Yellow Skyhawk is turning left downwind, runway 29, Oceano. Okay, so let's pretend that everything is normal. There's our downwind. There's the field. One notch of flaps. Push down on the yoke. And when we're in midfield, I'm going to pull on the throttle and announce an emergency. And let's see if we can land this plane. A little bit more power there. Like to be 80 plus. There's the field. Alright. Oceano traffic, Yellow Skyhawk has an emergency engine out, returning to the field, runway 29, Oceano. Okay, gliding speed would be around 76. No flaps yet, but I'm too high. Same problem might occur like that happened before, so let's do already 1 notch of flaps. There goes my speed. As you can see, that's not something that you like to see happening right off the bat. We could do also again some forward slipping. I'm putting in some right rudder. You can hear it on the airframe. Again, speed is okay-ish. Thanks for the follow, Skynet. Other traffic is waiting there. Am I going to make this? As you can see, it's hard to calculate, not really calculate, but define your altitude or the time when you need to turn. This is actually quite good. 60. Past the fence. Should have made another announcement that I did not do. Barely. Nice. Not a smooth landing, but we made it. Flaps up. Step on those brakes. And let's make some room. Oceano traffic, Yellow Skyhawk is clear of runway 29, taxiing for parking. Oceano. Landing lights off, strobe lights off.
And Oceano traffic, Skyhawk Alpha Victor Alpha is back on the left crosswind runway 29, a full stop. Oceano.
Ah, Oceano. Ah, there he is. I think. Alrighty. So, that was some nice flying. I was quite pleased actually with the partial instrument flying and my unusual attitudes in the stalls. It was good.
Oceano traffic, Skyhawk Alpha Victor Alpha, left downwind runway 29, a full stop. Oceano.
Alright. Let's go to the right here. What a lovely airport it is. There's the AI taking off. Also someone else here on the ramp, which is nice. Although the tail is totally smashed into the fence. Alright, let's park over here. A bit of brake.
Oceano traffic, Skyhawk Alpha Victor Alpha turning base runway 29er, full stop. Oceano.
Go a little bit further on. Nice. He's on base, he said. Alright, avionics off, cut off. Blah, blah, blah. Wait until the prop stops. There it is. Off, off, off. Park and brake sets. Good, good, good. We keep the door closed. And there we are. Nice flight. Let's have a quick look at Avanek. Where is he? Avanek, where are you? There he is. Turning final. You cannot hear him on the CTAF obviously now because our batteries are off. And this is also something that is so cool about PilotEdge is just multiplayer flying, even on a non-towered airport with no air traffic controllers. It's nice to fly together. Comes. Nice. Nice landing. Nose wheel is still up. Good job. Beautiful Oceano. Look at this, guys. Isn't it a picture? Just as you could frame it and put it on your wall. It's lovely. Awesome. Okay, what I would like to do, as always, as you know, is disconnect and have a look at the current flights. So here we are. Oh, that's not what I like to do. I like to go like this. And here you can see all the flying that we have been doing. Traffic patterns, turns. So we were quite far away from the ocean. As you can see, we went all the way down to the Morro Bay VOR. That's interesting. I like to go with the flight recorder as well. And have some reviews of our landings. Where are we? There we are. Yeah, we were coming into Oceano. What we could also do is just clear the weather so we have a better manually configured stormy KVOC. I think that's okay. It's okay for me. Boom. So there we went. Oh, that looks like a mess. Now, as you can see, some engine outs here that I made. Engine out landings here on the pattern. You can see here that forward slip turn that I made just to give myself a little bit more room or a little bit more time to lose some altitude. And you can see here from this turn that was much more smooth. That was great. As you can see here, my crosswind turns were not that, or my crosswind legs were not that consistent. There are a lot of difference, a lot of room in between those. Here we are coming in. But again, the measure here is in case of an engine out, can you still make the field? That's the idea. Usually that's a mile or so. I would like to see the landings. Landings. There we are coming in. Let's have a look. Oh, nice. That was smooth. Very good. Pleased with that. I guess we already skipped a few. Shift 5. Why are we hearing this? I guess this is a sound by XP Realistic or so that's recurring. A little bit crabbed, as you can see. A little bit turned to the left. Let's see if I correct for that. Right yoke. Yeah, a little bit of a correction. Let's see. If this was actually proper. First the main wheels. Actually the left wheel should go first when we got a wind coming from the left. That's good. 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 Yeah, not a lot of time in between the main wheels hitting the runway and the nose wheel. But I'm quite pleased with this actually. Also in terms of takeoff. Ah, beauty. Beauty. Look at this, guys. The yellow Skyhawk. Very nice. Beautiful Oceano. Love the sound as well of the engine. Alright, next up. Engine out simulation here. So again, trying to get a feel of when I need to turn. Only one shot at this. I did put in my 20 degree of flap and you notice that my speed was rapidly dropping. Yeah. So 65-ish. Made it actually quite okay. Here I came in. Thanks for the follow, Fake. And here I was actually quite on the mark with my approach. Nice with the shadows there. Coming in, coming in. But here I'm losing a lot of speed here with my nose up attitude. Yeah, it was a bit rough. Was a bit rough, but hey, it was an emergency landing. Sniper, this new scenery for Oceania makes for some great backdrop for photos. Oh yes, most definitely. Yeah, Evanek did. Also Miniwebs did. Great wallpapers as well. It's a great airport. It's for free. Again, that's also what I love about X-Plane. So many developers at home building this stuff and posting it on the xplane.org website. You can just download it. It's just a folder. Copy paste and you are done. I mean, look at that. It's nice. It's so relaxing just to look at this. But I'm pleased with the day. I actually expected that the unusual attitude flying would be much more difficult than I initially thought it would be. And I guess the lesson for me today was that the airspeed indicator also provides some much more stable, reliable, or stable way to infer your pitch than your vertical speed, because it is lagging. The vertical speed is lagging behind, and that makes it quite difficult. What a great sound. You can just hear the prop chopping the wind. It's so nice. I love this hobby, guys. Oh, I'm addicted to this. It's wonderful. Alrighty. I don't know why it does this when I disable or quit the flight recorder. Perhaps I should just click the X on the recorder. I don't know what's going on here, but apparently it does something that it shouldn't do. All right, so guys, that completes today's flight lesson. Again, learned just a few things, but I am comfortable flying on instruments, which is a great achievement. Just a minor achievement, though, as part of my Season 2 training, because next up, what I'm going to do, and it's also a little bit part of partial flying, is I'm going to invite Mrs. Uncertified again back into the cockpit, this time as my safety pilot. Thanks for the follow, Tev. Thank you. And she will fail my flight instruments next to me, or when she's sitting in the other room, I don't really care, without me knowing while I'm flying. And so I need to spot what instruments are actually flying. And because what I noticed and what I told about as well is at the beginning of the stream, that I'm feeling a little bit out of touch with ADC because I've not been flying with ADC for a month or so. So perhaps it might be fun just to do a nice VFR flight and then inviting her to do some fails. So I've got some ADC going on as well, and at the same time I need to spot what is going on. Now, I guess she's really curious to go for the big guns and getting smoke into the cockpit and that kind of stuff. Perhaps it's a little bit too much for a flight, but I don't care. Let's just have a little bit more fun. And also the skill of identifying system failures, that's actually the real skill. I mean, a lot of accidents happen when you're flying and you're just relying on your primary instruments and you're not noticing that the instruments are not confirming one another. and you're just trusting your attitude indicator while it's already failed, and there you are, you're flying to the ground. That actually happens in the real world as well. So that's quite different from flying while you know that the attitude indicator is not working, or the heading indicator, or the airspeed indicator, or you name it. So that's what we're gonna do next up in our next stream. Evanek, Tim, acknowledge your subs. Did you get the resub? Snipe, no, I didn't. Also not here on my Streamlabs, and I also did not get a notification, but thank you very, very much. It's weird. It should give me a sub or resub notification. I also don't see it here as part of my more technical stream here, so I need to look for that then. But thank you. That's really, really encouraging. And also thanks for all the follows, guys. Mrs. Judy and Tav again. Thank you so much for, and Dean, thank you for the follows. That really means a lot. It's encouraging. So, Snipe, it happened while you were head down. Oh, I know, Snipe. I know. Yeah, that's true. I was doing the unusual attitudes, and I remember that I heard some kind of subscription sound. Thank you. That was you. Thank you so much. Yeah, bad timing, I guess. But thanks a lot. You're a great supporter. I know. So, Pooh, also thank you for the follow. Guys, thank you so much again. That means that in the next flight, again, Mrs. Uncertified is going to join me, and or not join me, but in the other room, and she, with her iPad, is going to fail instruments while I'm doing a regular, old-school kind of VFR flight on PilotEdge, which I think is healthy and interesting as well. So I'm hoping that you will jump aboard around that time, and as always, happy flights and blue skies. See you then. Bye.
Palm Springs Tower, Skyline Hotel Tango, your mic is 10 miles north of the airport at 3000, with information X-ray for a full stop, landing 13 left if that's available.
Papa Hotel Tango, India Link, Palm Springs Tower, squawk 6250.
6250.
Papa Hotel Tango, India Link, Palm Springs altimeters 2985, radar contact, about 10 miles west of the Palm Springs VOI. Presently landing runway 31, so requesting straight in for 13.
If that's available, yes, please.
Ever, correction, Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, make straight in runway 13 left, and clear to land, wind is 0905.
Clear to land, runway 3 left, Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, thanks.
Palm Springs clearance, Pilatus 4658 is type PC12 slam code, request clearance to Vegas S filed.
Pilatus 4658, Palm Springs clearance. Good afternoon. Unable to give you S file, and I'll be forward stepping. Pilatus 4658 is cleared to the Las Vegas airport. VFI Cathedral 1 departure procedure to Palm Springs. Victor 370 to 29 Palms. Victor 538. Cresso. Join the Cresso 3 arrival. Maintain 7,000. Expect flight level 2405 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.7, squawk 6316.
Pilatus 4658 is cleared to Vegas via Cathedral 1, Palm Springs, Victor 37029, Palms, Victor 538, Cresso 3. Initially climb 7,000, expect 240 after 5, departure 126 squawk 6316, Pilatus 465.
Pilatus 4658, reback is correct. Tango India Mike, taxi to the ramp via Echo, remain this frequency.
Taxiing to the ramp via Echo, remaining on this frequency, Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike.
Ontario Tower, Cessna 237 Charlie Alpha, approximately 4 miles to the west, inbound to land.
Number 237 Charlie Alpha, roger, inner left, traffic. Left downwind, runway 26, left, report base.
Enter left downwind for 26 left and McCoy base, 237 Charlie Alpha.
Charlie Tower, United 242, on the visual for 20 right, returning for a right base short.
United 242, John Wayne Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land, wind 170 and 13.
Clear to land, 20 right, United 242.
Hello, Tower, G-Number 228, Kilo, IMS 24.
Here 520 Yankee Kilo, Palomar Tower, runway 24, clear to land, wind 210 and 1. Number 237 Charlie Alpha, runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land, 7 Charlie Alpha.
Palm Springs ground, Pilatus 4658 east ramp with weather calling for taxi.
Pilatus 4658, Palm Springs ground, runway 31 right, taxi via Echo and Bravo.
Trail right via Echo Bravo 465.
Riverside Tower, good morning, November 2903 Alpha with you on the ILS.
Number 2903 Alpha Riverside Tower, good afternoon. Runway 90 clear low approach, report missed.
November 2903 Alpha, clear low approach, runway 9. Next report is this.
Palm Springs Tower, Pilots 465 is ready to go to trail right at Bravo.
What's the 230 order you turned?
Plus 4658, Palm Springs Tower, runway 31 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, trail right, Pilots 465.
Paramount Tower, Kilo continued at 4.
Here's our Yankee Kilo, roger, taxi into the ramp via Alpha.
Via Alpha, Kilo please.
Lotus 4658, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure 465.
Says the 7 Charlie Alpha's clear the active taxi to the G8 parking please.
We're 7 Charlie Alpha, remain on this frequency taxi into the south ramp via Sierra.
South ramp via Sierra with you, 7 Charlie Alpha, thanks.
Number 2903 Alpha going around.
Number 03 Alpha, confirm going around or going missed.
November 2903 Alpha going missed.
Number 03 Alpha, roger, execute the published missed approach procedure.
Flying published mid-approach procedure. November 2903.
Piper 2903 Alpha, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure, 03 Alpha.
Number 03 Alpha, departure frequency will be 135.4.
135.4 for departure. Number 2903 Alpha.
Ontario Tower, November 516 Delta Mike, inbound ILS 26 left.
Or 516 Delta Mike, Ontario Tower. Good afternoon, Ontario. Wind is calm. Runway 26 left, clear land.
26 left, clear land, 6 Delta Mike. Ontario Tower, November 36. Correction, 516 Delta Mike, clear the active at uniform, taxiing to the south apron.
Number 6 Delta Mike,